What's going on, y'all? Thank you for checking in with Kelly. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. So it seems like the Clippers are always going to be connected somewhat to the Golden State Warriors when it comes to trade talks because, it's just seems to be some intertwining there in regards to one player's last couple years specifically, and it's been Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga he averaged like 15 points last year, shooting like 30% from the 3-point line, shooting like 44% from the regular distance. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I think he presents a lot of good things if a team does pick him up, but I feel like they're always going to have trouble with the Kuminga situation because they look at him as their future, but at the same time, he has not developed to the specifications they thought that he should by now. Now, as far as the Clippers have always shown interest in him the last few years because they've seen his rising stardom and how good of the potential that he has, just like everybody else does, but it just never really materializes, and I feel like the Clippers are kind of hesitant to pull the trigger on him because they don't know what they're getting. They might get somebody who is, not a bad guy. I think he's a good locker room guy, but I feel like Kuminga wants more, and he does want more. He wants to start, and honestly, he wants more money from Golden State, which Golden State, I don't think they're willing to do that because they don't see the potential, rising to the point that they feel like they should give him more money at this point in his career, which is kind of crazy because he's been in the league about a good 5-6 seasons or more. So it's kind of crazy how he hasn't developed into what we probably thought he would be by now. There was even comparisons to Kawhi Leonard at one time, him being a player like that, of that caliber, and it just hasn't materialized. I don't know if maybe he needs to play for a team like the Spurs or something like that to get the best out of him like Kawhi did. But at the same time, he is on the Golden State Warriors, and, Steve Kerr is a part of the Spurs organization too, always will be, along with the Bulls, of course, but he's won championships there too. So, and he's definitely a good enough coach to put him in position to be the best player he can be. He just hasn't really become that, and he hasn't become that staple that they need, but they hold on to him because they know his potential is there, and they look at him like, okay, any day now he might actually, turn the corner and flip the page and turn to what they think he should be. But at the same time, it's really more of a situation where they can't use him but so much because they look at his defense, which is really good, and his offense picks up decently at times, but it's not consistent enough for them to feel comfortable where they could put him in a playoff situation where he's going to come through for them, or at least they don't feel comfortable enough for him to, come through for them in big moments, which is the reason why they really haven't taken the leash off of, Kuminga. But at the same time, the Clippers, they definitely seen value in Kuminga, and I think the Clippers possibly would have got Kuminga if it wasn't for them going after John Collins. And I think, honestly, in the long run, Kuminga will probably be the better option than John Collins. But for right now, I guess I would say John Collins might be the better option because he does shoot better from the three, technically, percentage-wise, and he is a 3-and-D guy, or he does play defense, I should say, and he is a little bit more vulnerable as a player, and he's been in starting roles before, like consistently, you know what I mean? So whereas Kuminga's been in and out of starting lineups, like I said, they see potential, but then sometimes his potential doesn't show, and then at times he's looked lost in the last couple of years of playing. Then times he looks like he's really, really comfortable. Like a few games I looked at him last year, he looked very comfortable in his role. He looked very comfortable in what they needed him to do and everything, but there's times where there's that disconnect because, like I said, from the people I know, they tell me all the time Kuminga is a great talent, but he wants more. He wants more than what Golden State is offering. Come off the bench or maybe get in the starting lineup at times. I feel like he kind of probably wants Draymond's role where he played that defensive style and then maybe, knock down a shot here and there. But at the same time, he can't play to the level of a Draymond Green. Draymond is he's underrated assisting wise. He can assist the ball very well. He finds guys in their spots. And on top of that, I've seen him actually somewhat run the point before where he, takes the ball down the court and makes the pass and get everybody in position and make good passes. And on top of that, find Steph and when Clay used to be there, find them in their spots where they could shoot at. And then he positions himself to be able to get the rebound and get putbacks and maybe knock down a wide open three here and there and plays with that edge. And I feel like Kuminga can do the same thing, but he just doesn't do it consistently enough for them to take the leash off his neck in Golden State. So I think that's the reason why his name is always posted out there in regards to possible trade, possibilities. And the Clippers have always been one of the teams in the forefront for it. It just never fell through. It was going to actually fall through, I think, last year or the year before last, I think, with Paul George going to Golden State, trade possibly, and they get Kuminga back. But I mean, the trades never fell through, of course, and it just never really coincides because I think Golden State wants more for Kuminga because of his potential rather than what he's worth. Because if he was worth more, other teams are looking at it like, how come you're not paying him? How come you're not taking the leash off his neck and letting him be the next superstar on your team or look like he's going to be, so it's just one of those situations. Weird. Personally, I think the Clippers did right in this situation going with John Collins. I do like the Kuminga trade if they was ever able to make it happen. I do like it because I do like Kuminga. I think he has a lot of potential, as I said, and I like what he brings. I like the way he plays. It's just that the development hasn't really gotten any higher from what I've seen, and that could be due to the fact that he's not getting the minutes he wants to play. Maybe he's unsatisfied with what Golden State is giving him minutes-wise. But I haven't really seen him elevate his game to another level to where it's like, okay, yeah, he's going to be one of the next stars of the league. I mean, he has moments where he shows it, but then he has moments where he looks like, he's hasn't been in the league long enough to figure out his way. So I do like the trade if the Clippers ever do make the trade, but it's going to have to they really shouldn't have to give up much for him. And I think that's the reason why the trade never came through, because I think Golden State might be asking for a little bit more than what he's worth. And honestly, the John Collins trade is a lot better. It went a lot smoother, easier, and you got a player who can do the same things Kuminga can do, and even at a little bit higher of a level than he can. So really, it's a win-win for the Clippers, even though they still probably want Kuminga. But right now, stick with John Collins. Hopefully you can keep the team healthy and try to make a run, and then maybe in the future you can pull off a trade for somebody like Jonathan Kuminga.